Hello, it's John. I thought I haven't really done any, direct video with me or the rest of the team in it at all, and even now the camera's not pointing at me. Might reshoot this bit.
Hello, here I am looking a right state. It's been a long week. Once again needing a haircut. Here I am in Handiwork HQ. Look, there's the bookshelves with all the cool books. Look, there's some guitars there. Do you want to see my sword? It's not a very good one for those of you who are like really into your swords and stuff, but you know, it's nice to have one at all, isn't it? Yeah, look, it's a sort of Sutton Hoo sword recreation. It's really good. I can't pull it out because I'm stupidly holding the camera with one hand.
Right, I thought we'd take a look at, since I've got some here, Beowulf story cards, which are a sort of unique thing to the Twin Seas campaign right now. As I'm filming this, it is heading into the, well, we're well into the final week. I keep saying heading into the final week. No, we are halfway through the final week. And this is something that at the moment is only available as part of a pledge there. Now, they come in a nice plastic box. As nice as a plastic box can be, but it's quite a handy thing to have. Trying to get them out. There we go. A bit of static holding them in. Now, the deck I'm using here was the very first one we made. For some reason, the backs and the fronts are the wrong way round to what we anticipated they would be. But the real thing will not be like that. However, that does not stop me demonstrating how Beowulf Age of Heroes story cards work. Right, so you get your instructions on a QR code on the back. You could pause this and scan that if you wanted to. It's a sort of hidden page on our website that gives you all the instructions. I think there's a link to it actually on the campaign page. So we put the title card to one side. Now we've got this deck of cards. On one side they've got a list of things, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all different categories. Let me see if I can remember what they are. There's like a sort of concept. There's a person, there's a place, and there's a thing. It's a bit of, yeah. Now, on the other side of the cards, the right way round on the real deal, you'll find a little chain of numbers like that. And that tells you which ones to read on each card that you use to build your story inspiration. This deck, I haven't introduced this very well. This deck is for inspiring your Beowulf story card. It's your inspiring your Beowulf adventures and stories and subplots and side quests and all that jazz. And all the entries on these cards, there's 44 cards, they're all very much in the vein of Beowulf. So you're getting, you know, strongly thematic stories. So let's go, before this video gets too long, the way to do it, just cut the deck. And what we find, first of all, that is going to give us our little plan to read our story from. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Let's put that there so we don't lose it. And then we turn over the top card and we're looking for number 1, a task to be completed. Well, that's quite good, isn't it, for a sort of adventure inspiration? That's fairly straightforward. Task to be completed. Next card, 2. A fen walker. Now that's one of the descriptions of Grendel in the poem of Beowulf, a fen walker. But that could be all kinds of things, couldn't it? It's definitely got a monster sort of implication. A fen walker is like an outsider that lives in the fens. The fens are not sort of farmable land. We've got the echoes of the ancestors of who we describe as the historical Anglo-Saxons lived in what is now northern Germany, southern Denmark. And through climate change, they lost a lot of their farmland through rising sea levels. And I really like to, this is embroidering a bit, because we're a fantasy game, right? I like to think of there being sort of memories of that terrible time when the land was disappearing and going, sort of turning sour, and they couldn't farm there anymore, and there was pressure on people. And the fens that would perhaps come about from this flooding and rising sea level would be a place of horror to them. Hence, fen walker, perhaps, you know, as Grendel. Someone perhaps cleverer than me could tell you whether this is true or just something I've worked out. We've got a task to be completed and a fen walker. I was thinking you could also use it as a sort of an outsider, someone who maybe hunts in the fens, hunts birds, in amongst the reeds. That's quite interesting. Or someone who lives in the fens, or perhaps patrols the fens in defence of a more civilised place. We don't know, do we? But, you know, there's a lot there. So a task to be completed and a fen walker. What have we got next? Number 3. What have we got? A shipyard. Ooh, that's not quite unexpected. A shipyard. Now, shipyards in Beowulf Age of Heroes, probably just, in my estimation, I don't know if this is written anywhere, I would have thought a shipyard is only really attached to a major hall. You've got a pretty wealthy king or queen if they're building ships, right? We'll bear that in mind. So I wonder how they relate to the fen walker and what then the tasks to be completed. I mean, the task to be completed could well be the building of a ship. Right, we've got another 3. A sea cave. Ooh. See, now, straight away, we could have the shipyard in a sea cave. That could be really cool, couldn't it? I'm immediately imagining a sort of huge, low arch of a really big sea cave, and inside there are all sort of piers and they're building ships in there. That's kind of cool, isn't it? There's a place in Ireland like that, I think. I always start, when I'm just busking these videos, I always start telling these tales of places like that. You know, I don't know the name of it, and I don't know where it is, and I don't know if it was just like a dream I had or something. Maybe there is. Right, okay, so we've got a sea cave, and then we've got a number 4, a cross. Okay. So that could, I'm immediately thinking of a sort of carved cross, maybe a stone cross, in a sea cave. That's interesting. Which is a shipyard. I like our idea of a shipyard sea cave. I think that's cool. So we'll sort of put those 2 cards together. The shipyard sea cave and the task to be completed could be perhaps the recovery of a cross that fell in the water. That would be interesting. I wonder if it is... I like the idea as well that the fen walker is walking the borders of a territory, and perhaps he's wanting the cross, perhaps he's commissioned the cross and it's gone in the water. Something like that. But you see what I mean? You see how it works. That's cool. Let's do another one. Sometimes I actually use these cards, you know, for my own games. And sometimes what it generates takes a bit of time to sink in, and I'll come back to it. But there's some really good elements there. I like the sea cave shipyard. And if we only generate that location out of that drawer of cards, great. I mean, we're ahead, right? Let's do it again. Let's shuffle them up. Right, we'll cut the deck to get our tail. Oh, this is a long one. Oh, this is a really complicated one. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 1. Right, I'm going to draw them off the top. 1, an angry ancestor. That's a winner. I know that feeling well. Number 2, a crofter. Ooh. Well, that's clearly an angry ancestor who is the crofter. Well, perhaps the crofter has an angry ancestor. 1, again, a creature from the wasteland. You see how this is making Beowulf stories? Creature from the wasteland. So there's a croft, and the angry ancestor of the crofter is now a creature from the wasteland. That's great. 1, 2, 1, 3. A ruin. Yeah, right. So he's haunting the ruin. That's fantastic. What did we get there? We got 3. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. A spear. And then 1. A secret to be revealed. I mean, there's a Beowulf adventure for you. If you want a pretty straightforward story to resolve of the unkillable monster, you got to find a spear. It's a secret to be revealed. So the spear's somewhere hidden. There'll be some family secret in the ancestry. A crofter's croft is haunted by an angry ancestor who lives in the ruin. Brilliant, eh? How good is that? Love it. Anyway, I could keep doing these all the time, but this video is 8 minutes long. So you can add, right now as this is recording, you can add a set of Beowulf Age of Heroes story cards to your pledge, and we'll send them to you with all the other good stuff you can get. How good was that? And that was totally unscripted, by the way. I wish I was clever enough to sort of hide really good cards and you know, facilitate really good card draw, but they're all really good cards, to be fair. Look at that. A child of the house denied. Nice. There's all sorts of good stuff. An ancient enemy. A foster child. Cool. A troubled dwelling. Great stuff. Right. I better go. It's just, time's just rolling on, and I'm just rolling on. Thank you so much. The campaign's been great, by the way. Thank you for all your support. It's been absolutely fantastic. Nice one. Bye for now.